Page 50, use mental math to solve equations. Let's kind of set the stage for what we're going to be talking about today. What is mental math, first of all? What do you think of when you think of mental math? Desriana. Yeah, basically math that you can do in your head. Okay? There's something I like to refer to as your number sense. You suppose number sense. Okay, maybe we should start with common sense. What's common sense? How would you define common sense? Uh-oh.
Okay.
This isn't good. One hand in the air. Common sense. Carlos. Who should know? Good. Common sense is sense that everyone should have. Don't jump out of a window when that window is on, like, second, third, fourth, 100th floor. Not a good idea. Common sense. Don't put your hand on the stove when it's on, right? Like, okay? Common sense. Number sense. If common sense is knowledge that everyone should have, what's number sense? Yeah.
To do
Numbers that are easy to do. Maya?
everybody should know.
You should know. Relationships between certain numbers that you should just know. Your number sense. How do you gain more common sense? That's a good question. Alexis. Well, you don't have to necessarily be smart to have good common sense. It helps, but I know a lot of people that are pretty book smart and, didn't have much common sense. Carlos.
Okay. It means to like listen and learn. Listen and learn. Or you could for common sense you could also
It's not like a book you study, right? There's not like a Common Sense for Dummies. Is that book a...
just like stuff that is really dumb that you shouldn't do.
I like to use a phrase, I say, pay attention to life.
Yes.
Pay attention to what's going on around you. Common sense comes with time. Obviously, you have more common sense. Yes, even you have more common sense than, my 9-month-old son. He doesn't have much common sense right now. He doesn't know that if he lets go of something, that he's going to fall. Well, he does kind of, but he doesn't understand as well as you do. Common sense. You gain with age, you gain with experience, but you could be 50 years old and have very little common sense because you walk through life not really paying attention to what's going on. So how do you gain more number sense? Say,
Work on it all the time.
work on it all the time. Yes. Say, Dasan? Yeah, I mean, you don't have to really make a conscious effort at getting better with number sense, just like you don't have to make a real conscious effort at getting better with common sense. But when you're in math class and when you're doing your homework, when you're doing your assignments, when you're taking quizzes, taking tests, the more you think about the numbers and the more you actually try to understand them, the better number sense you're going to have. Okay? So that's people that have really good number sense, usually the ones that are really good at math. It doesn't mean that you were just born one day, you woke up and you were just great at math. I've seen it 1,000 times. Kids that take minimal notes in class, minimal notes. Like, they'll only open up their notebook and start taking notes if I start looking at them cross-eyed. That's the only time they'll take it out. Their number sense tends to not be that great. Those that are involved, actively participating, their number sense, usually by the time they get to 8th grade, is through the roof. Not a coincidence, trust me. So that's my little speech on that. Use mental math to solve equations. What's an equation then? It's an equation. Frank. Close. Numbers are in equations. Desriana. Yes, and Liam? Sometimes. Usually always an equal sign. Carlos?
Equation that either should I just read it out of the book?
Alexis? Yeah, use it, the two expressions are equal. We could say 2 plus 2 equals 4 could be considered an equation. Most of the time, though, when you're going to be asked to solve an equation, that equation contains something special. If you look at some of the examples on the pages, you'll see what I'm talking about. Just some of those problems contain that aren't in the example on the board. Yeah? Letters are called what in math? Variables. Good. Now, we'll see problems with variables, and we'll have to solve them. Okay? So, for example, 16 plus n equals 23. Okay? So I need to think. I need to try to use mental math, and I need to ask myself, if I add what to 16, I'm going to get 23. Faith. Not 17. Not 17, but Marissa? Just 7. Just 7. I can say n equals 7. How do I know for sure that 7 works? I don't know for sure that 7 is what I'm looking for. Carlos? Something easier. Yeah, if you're saying that n is equal to 7, then add those together. And maybe that means that, you know, you just revisit, 13, oh yeah, 23. Okay? So your solution ends up being 7. That's a great thing about equations. There's always a way to check them. If you don't like getting anything wrong, equations are right up your alley, because all it takes is a little bit of effort, a little bit of extra time, and you're set. A times 3 equals 36. See if you can try that one. A times 3 is equal to 36. It's very important that when you work with equations, that you must tell us what A equals. If we need to find out what A is, then we need to find out what A equals. Be very clear with your labeling. Zakayla? A equals 12. Very good. How do we know for sure? Plug it in. 12 times 3 is 36. Okay. Very good. Uh, 27 minus x equal to 22. 27 minus what equals 22? Sierra? Yes, so x equals 5. Very good. A times 6 equals 60. What times 6 equals 60? Faith? Double check. 10 times 6 is 60. I'm going to assign for you let's do 1 through 12. And the redo we will make I've got the worksheet. I'll hand it out in a minute. Page 54. '17 through 19. And page 55. Um, 55 set D. Let's do numbers 8 and 9. Okay.